Swayman and net. The decor will be the same. Wallstrom will draw in, and we're game time decision on the last forward. It was easy. Okay.
Management had talked about kind of going, two different paths potentially with this group. Do you feel like you've made the argument to, to Cam and Don that the path to go is adding players, and this team has, what it takes to win a cup?
Yeah, that's not really a question that I feel like I need to answer. Our job as a staff and the guys in the room is just to keep pushing the way we can and trying to play the best hockey that we're capable of playing game in and game out. So, that's more of a question for those guys. Like I said, we're in the thick of things here right now. You look at the standings, there's, I don't know how many, 6, maybe up to 7 teams that are in that wild card / third spot for the in the division right now. And so that's really our focus, and that will continue to be our focus moving forward.
Do you feel like the Eastern Conference is wide open, maybe more wide open than it has been in years past, where there's maybe not a dominant team like you see in the West?
The division or the conference? I'm sorry.
Do you feel like it's all kind of wide open, where there's up and down, anybody could?
Well, if you look right now compared to the previous years, it was more so Tampa, us, Toronto and Florida kind of in the mix, and then the other in the Eastern Conference, in our division. Then you had some other teams kind of starting to push, but not really quite yet. Where it's opposite now. Detroit's there and Ottawa's there, and if I'm missing someone else, I don't know. But so yeah, you look at the other side too. Carolina's still a really good hockey team. The Devils have played some good hockey this year too. So. It's hard to say if it's more open or not, but it's certainly there's more parity right now, it seems like, overall.
Do you think this break will kind of hurt or maybe hinder the momentum that you guys are trying to build here?
We'll see after today. No, I think the break is what it is, right? We talked about using those last 4 games going into the break as a springboard for us, if you will, treating it like playoff hockey. We've come away with 2 wins. We obviously didn't come away with the result we wanted in New York. So, but today's another opportunity, and so it's hard to say if it's going to be good or if it'll be helpful or not. We'll find out more after the break. But it's the same for every team. So we'll deal with it. Even if we're playing well, we'll hopefully continue to have that same attitude and that same mindset when we come back for the break.
Swayman's 40th game today. It lasts 6 weeks or so. He's been starting 3 general numbers, 3 out of every 4. You anticipate going that same rate with him once you come back?
I think that's fair to say. Yeah, I think that when we get back here, we'll look at the schedule. It's somewhat light. I don't want to predict ahead too much with who's playing and who's not, but we get back. We have the 1 game against Anaheim. I believe we have 2 days in between before we play our next game. And then there's maybe a day or 2, again, another game. So it's a little bit lighter, the schedule, when we get back. And so there's an opportunity for Sway to play, in more of those games.
Yesterday I was asking you about Pasta's evolution as a scorer. You talked about his strength, the building of strength. By and large, guys enter the league and they'll score, say, 12 to 15 goals their first year, if they're lucky, I guess. But you look 5 years later, they're still 12 to 15 goal scorers. By and large, the guys come in, they establish who they are, they don't move much past that. Pasta's really the exception. Any thoughts on why guys kind of define themselves early and don't push to another level?
Well, number one, I don't know if everyone's capable of that, right? I think you look at, players back when I played and whenever they played, certain guys just, they're not maybe capable of exceeding that number. Other players have the ability, they have the inner drive, and they have the ceiling is higher, I guess, for those players to reach it, right? And when you put the work in and, you develop certain things in your game over the course of your career, like David's developed that one-timer shot, right? He could shoot the puck his first year or 2, but not like he does now. So he's worked on that. He's developed that part of his game. And then there's obviously the instinctive part that he has in his game, that offensively, that you can't teach guys to see the ice the way he does. So I don't know what his response was to you yesterday, but like I said, I really feel like with David, his strength has really allowed him to take it to another level, along with working on parts of his game offensively.
What's your process when it comes to establishing the forward lines and defensive pair? Like, do you want to establish guys that work well together, kind of keep them together, or do you want to, kind of see what works per game? Like, what's your process?
Well, we'd like to have some consistency within our lines as much as we can. I think it does help the forward lines and the deep pairings to keep some consistency there so that they're allowed to develop some chemistry and relationships with each other, and they talk a little bit more about things that go on during the course of a game, certain situations that arise. It's not perfect every time. And having said that, I think that during the course of a game, you have to make certain adjustments too with players. If a player is not playing his best, you play 82. Not everyone's at their best every night. It's impossible. So you have to look and see, maybe make a tweak here and a tweak there. But right now, I think that the most important thing is trying to get these guys to play, with consistency with each other. I think that works best.
What's it going to be like for you to coach against Butch?
It'll be fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I said yesterday I had a real good relationship with Butch when he was here. We worked together, and real good all-around coach. And yeah, we need the points more than they do, though.